Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here aboard Valiant Lady. And this is the first time in a few years that I've been on a Virgin Voyages ship. I was on Scarlet Lady at the beginning, and now I'm here on Valiant Lady. I'm here with a familiar face, John DiOrio, who's the Vice President of Sales for Virgin Voyages. And we've talked to John many times, but we're here with sort of their top-selling travel advisors, who they call First Mates. And we're going to talk about this whole event and why these people are here and how they're being celebrated. And you're going to find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. John, first of all, great to see you here. I keep saying we're going to get together on a live ship, and here we are.
We are. It was good to see you, James. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. Thank you for the invite. And so here we are. What is this event that you're celebrating, these top 100, you call them First Mates, and their sales goals, right?
So we came up with this idea a couple of years ago on how to celebrate and acknowledge our top-selling First Mates or travel advisors in North America. And so the idea was, how do we bring them on board the ship to congratulate them and thank them for their business? So we have a contest. It's the top 100 First Mates, purely based on bookings. Mm-hmm. And we run that contest from November 1st to October 31st. And then we invite the First Mates on board to sail with us. And we have an amazing events for them. We do an awards show called the First Mate Inc. Awards, right. And we give away some.
You award the top 10 sales
We
people.
do all we acknowledge the top 10. We have different awards based on territories, and it's just a way to celebrate the success they've had. We can't build this brand without our travel partners, and they're helping us kind of do that together. And this is just a way that we want to celebrate them. And this is the third year we've done this now.
No, and it seems to have gone really well, and I assume you'll have more after this. Now, who are these First Mates? Because they seem to be incredibly diverse. I have to tell you, they're all young, old, women, men. There's all these different people that really, I think, reflect kind of who your guests are. Your guests on board are.
Yeah,
right?
I think when you look at, obviously the industry is very diverse, and so we see the advisor community really leaning into selling this brand based on their clientele that they are selling to, and so we're seeing such a great variety of First Mates, whether they've been in the industry for 30, 40 years or just getting into the industry in the past year or two. And so we love the diversity of our First Mates. We love the diversity of sailors that they bring on board as well. And it's reflective of what the brand has always believed in. Come on board, be yourself, and have an amazing time.
Well, I see your sailors, your guests. Really, this is incredibly diverse. I used to say, well, they're younger, but that's not really true. No. It just they're all adult. Let's say that, which is one of the biggest things. This is an adults-only cruise line, as if you haven't seen ad nauseum the commercials, which they have some amazing commercials about that. But it really is. That's kind of the commonality. Now, in terms of the experience level of these travel advisors, are these people your First Mates? Are these people who are already out there who have existing agencies and have just decided to really focus on Virgin?
I think what we have found is there are those that have agencies and just leaned into the product very early. Mm-hmm. And they got started with our brand when we started launching a few years ago. But we're also seeing that because there's such a demand for adult-only travel, mm-hmm. this brand does it. And because there's so much value in cruising, we're seeing that a lot of advisors that may have traditionally sold a lot of land-based cruises, or they like different vacations that may cater to kids, mm-hmm. those adults need a vacation as well. Right. And so we're seeing a lot of that first-time sailors coming to us because they've never cruised before, or they're used to going on vacation with their children, and now they need a vacation for themselves. And that adult-only, kid-free experience has been amazing so far for us.
Well, I was talking to Nirmal, your CEO, and he said, yeah, this is one of the few products that is adult-only at this level. It's sort of a premium level. You have to usually go very high up into the luxury lines to do this, and it's got a lot of reception out there.
It's been one of the differentiators for us of having that kid-free experience, and it's an elevated experience as well. So because there's great value in cruising in general, and we have so much more in the fare of our voyage fare, those that come on board, they have a great time. The repeat factor is incredibly high, and it's working.
Yeah. Now, there's a question I'm going to ask him, but he's not going to answer. But it's, what does it take to become a top seller, top 100 seller for Virgin?
You know, I get asked that every year, and my answer is sell as much as Virgin Voyages as you could possibly can, and you'll do very well in making the top 100. There's a threshold, but what we're seeing every year to make that top 100, you have to double your business with us.
Well, that's what I was saying. You're telling all the first mates who say you're going to have to double it for next year, and they're all looking at you like, oh boy. Yeah. But you know what? It's possible you're going to have another ship and all that.
Fourth ship coming, and listen, there's such demand for our product. There's such demand in general for the adult-only vacation. Right. And so I think we cater perfectly to that customer. Again, our customer, who's our perfect sailor? Anybody traveling without kids under the age of 18.
Well, let's talk about that, because what are you telling these first mates and potential first mates about how to sell Virgin Voyages today? Well,
we like to say, again, it's about that adult-only experience. If you're traveling with kids that are over the age of 18, you should bring them on board. If they're not traveling with kids in general, come with us. But it's really about the experience. It's an elevated experience. It's what we include in the fare that makes it unique. It's the diversity of our itineraries, short, long itineraries. And what we're finding is that when we get them on board, they understand what the experience is. It's elevated. You come on board the ship and there's no kids around. You just go like, oh my God, something's different. And so it's just creating an amazing experience, and we're seeing it in the repeat bookings.
Well, here we are. We're actually in one of the restaurants here. This is Test Kitchen,
yes.
one of your marquee restaurants. And the food, I got to tell you, I liked it when I first got on board, but I really like it now. It's amazing. All the restaurants have been great, and I've actually managed to try some of them that I didn't try last time. But here, I did try Test Kitchen, great restaurant, and as you can see, this venue is amazing. And then last night, I went to Gumbay. Gumbay. I gotta get that. Gumbay. It was loud, but it was fun.
Gunbay is one of those. It's the first Korean barbecue restaurant at sea, and it's one of our more energetic dining experiences. Our crew, which are amazing everywhere on the ship, they really lean into that authentic Korean barbecue experience. And so the food is amazing, but there are drinking games you can play, or you don't play, it doesn't really matter. But it's meant to be, if you're there, you'll be sat with other people, and you get to know people. I like to say it's always the best restaurant to go on the very first night of the cruise, because you'll meet people that you've never met before if you're just a couple by yourself, and then you'll end up seeing that same group of people the rest of the voyage.
Absolutely. Well, so you have that. So the dining is certainly one thing, a selling point, and then the entertainment is incredible. So we went last night to Dual Reality, which is an amazing show. It's one I saw originally, but I still like it. And once again, I sat next to one of the performers. That's a secret.
Don't spoil that.
Don't tell that. And then there's so many others like Pink Agave.
I got Pink Agave, which is our upscale Mexican restaurant. I think Normal will say he doesn't have a personal favorite. I do. I think Pink Agave is my favorite restaurant on board the ship, but my favorite meal is at Extra Virgin, our Italian restaurant.
Well, we're trying that tonight. See, I was talking about entertainment, and somehow I got back to the food. I don't know what.
I think we're hungry. I think the problem.
Right. So, but anyway, all the entertainment is good, and then you can come on sort of surprise entertainment. So there's going to be in the different lounges. There's going to be single performers, groups, and everything else is sort of as I learned the first time I was on, and that's a real big selling point.
Yeah, we have a lot of live entertainment. We've learned over the past 3 years what our sailors and our first mates' feedback is, and we want more live entertainment. We've been doing that for the past year and a half now, and it really resonates in the quality of their satisfaction scores on all levels, but specifically entertainment.
Now, what do your first mates tell you about how they sell Virgin Voyages, maybe a little differently than you may have thought?
Well, I think what our first mates, especially the first mates that are in the top 10, what they're really good at is explaining the difference of our product versus other cruise products. As you know, we are a very inclusive brand when it comes to what's in the voyage fare. Obviously, all the foods included, the Wi-Fi, the gratuities, the entertainment, your sodas and waters and coffees and teas. So when you add that up, that's a tremendous amount of value. And so the ones that are in the top 100 are able to explain the price differential between us and some other product, and explaining what that really looks like when you check out, when you buy a cruise from someone else. So there's tremendous value. We like to say when you come on board, you are going to spend happy dollars. You're not going to spend dollars that were for things that are a necessity, like gratuities and Wi-Fi.
Right. No, and it is great. It's a great advantage. Now, as we mentioned earlier, you've got Brilliant Lady coming out this year. What are the advantages? This ship's going to go to a lot of places. I was talking about where it starts and where it ends. Talk about Brilliant Lady and the impact that's going to have also on your sales, do you think?
Yeah, so Brilliant Lady is our 4th Beautiful Lady ship. She will start sailing in September out of New York. We're going to actually have 4 Mermaiden voyages. So September 5th is her first voyage out of New York. We're going to spend a month up in the Northeast. We're going to hit up to Quebec City and then make our way down to Miami, where we'll do another Mermaiden voyage out of Miami. And we're going to celebrate bringing Brilliant Lady to New York, Miami. The great thing about Brilliant Lady, she's going to do some long itineraries out of Miami, which is really first time for us. Then we have an amazing, in March of 2026, a 16-night Panama Canal voyage. This ship is the only ship that can go through the Panama Canal.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't it a twin of the other?
It's the only ship that can. So this one's just, we took the lifeboats and brought them in a little bit so that she can go through the Panama Canal. Okay. So as she goes through the Panama Canal, we're then going to be in Los Angeles in April of 26 for another Mermaiden voyage. She'll spend about a month there and then eventually makes her way up to Seattle in May of 2026, where we will then do an entire summer in Alaska.
That's amazing. And that's the thing, is that when you start in New York and you all around and you end up in Alaska, where does it go after that?
Well, we're going to work our way back likely. Okay. We'll see what happens.
Okay. No, yeah. So, and then you'll still have all these ships in the Caribbean and in the Med too, right?
Yeah, if you think about next winter, 25, 26, all 4 ships will be in the Caribbean.
Wow,
so we move her through the Panama Canal and over to the West Coast.
And then you're going to also have your Europe seasons too.
We do, yeah. So this summer we obviously have 2 of our ships in Europe, Barcelona, Athens, and Portsmouth. And we're doing some great long itineraries. This is the first year we actually have 16 different itineraries that are 8 nights or longer. And we've got some amazing destinations. We're doing Portsmouth to Reykjavik. We're hitting Scotland, Ireland. There's all kinds of great destinations.
Sounds like a great cruise.
Yeah. And I think one of the best voyages, our 2 famous voyages, is out of Athens. We've got our Greek island Glow, which is your typical 7-night voyage. We hit all the key spots, but it's the Adriatic sea voyage, which actually goes to Montenegro and Croatia, which is an amazing 7-night itinerary. But this year we took and created a 10-night voyage where you can actually do a little bit of both.
Wow.
And so that's an amazing voyage.
That you got it covered. That sounds like an amazing...
And that all comes from feedback from our sailors and our first mates telling us what their clients want to see from us now.
Now, I want to get back to this meeting here. This is the first time for the Top 100 that you had your CEO, your Chief Marketing Officer, your Chief Operations Officer, and your CFO were all on board and participating in all that. How did that help you, do you think?
Well, our first mates have been asking for them to come every single year, to be honest with you. And I think because of the importance of trade in our first mate community, they know that they wanted to be here this year. This is celebrating the success of our first mates. They play a significant role in us growing as a company, and just shows the dedication and support that our brand has for the travel advisor community. Nobody else does an event like this where you bring the entire leadership team on to celebrate our first mates.
Well, Nimal said you never invited him.
I know he says that.
and all those guys, you never invited.
He's my boss. We'll go with that.
We'll go
sure.
With that. Yeah. Okay. How do you think that helped them understand the travel the first mates?
Well, our leadership team truly understands the first mate community very, very well. They've been very active in working with myself and our entire team to provide the right tools to our first mates to grow the business. And so we get a lot of feedback from our first mates. I have sessions with Nirmal, myself, and some of our top 50 first mates probably every quarter. We want the feedback. What's working? What's not working? What do you see on pricing? What can we do differently? And we take that feedback and we make our product even better for our partners.
Well, that does seem to be. There's been a circular thing since the development of this product where travel advisors, sailors, the executive team, everyone is working to build the brand together and make it. I mean, I notice it right away. I was here at the very beginning, and there's so many different changes, little changes that you've made that are making it better all the time. Right?
We're building this brand. We can't do it without our first mate partners. We can't do it without our sailors. And so we like to say that they're on this journey with us of building this amazing brand. We can't do it by ourselves. We need our first mate partners to help us, and they're guiding us along with the feedback from our sailors.
Now, anything else you want to say to our 128,000 travel advisors? Some of them are selling first, and they're first mates if they sell. And about how they can become first mates as well?
Well, obviously, firstmates.com is where you'll go to register, whether you're working with your agency or host agency, sign up to do business with us. I think the key thing of being successful with us is going through our C Academy training program that lays that foundational understanding of our brand, but then work very, very closely with our sales managers. We've got a team of 17 throughout North America that are there to work with you based on where you live, not where your agency is.
Well, John, it's been great sailing with you on this one. It's been wonderful. Thank you for inviting me to this. It's been great to get reacquainted with the brand. We've been talking a lot about it, and we were talking about it before it was even launched. I was doing videos about it all then, and it's all kind of coming together. In fact, I interviewed Nimal at the very beginning, and then, of course, he became CEO a couple of years ago, right?
Yes, that's correct. No, you've played a big role for us as well. So thank you for everything you do.
I'm James Shillinglaw, aboard Valiant Lady, and maybe later on this year I'll get a chance to see Brilliant Lady, because we're all excited about that. But this is a fabulous ship, and out there, become first mates as well and sell Virgin Voyages. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.